everybody, I'm Chris and this is Jim, and today we are in the beautiful capital city of Vientiane, Laos.
Now Vientiane is in the south central of Laos. It is the capital city, like Chris said. It borders Thailand from across the Mekong River. We're here for a total of 3 nights, a very quick trip for us as we transition out of Laos into our next country. And we're going to show you around some of the sites here in Laos. We're not too familiar with Vientiane, but it's so far, first impressions, a little bit different landscape. It seems a lot flatter than it was in our last destination of Vieng, and we're excited to show you guys this place.
And stay to the end of the video, we'll show you our accommodations here. This city, we decided to take a small upgrade and pamper ourselves a little bit, and we're sure glad that we did. We'll show you our place at the end.
Let's go check out Vientiane, Laos.
What makes this city so unique is how different it feels from other capital cities in Southeast Asia. There are no overwhelming crowds or chaotic streets, just a relaxed, easygoing pace that feels very true to the Lao way of life. People come here for the beautiful Buddhist temples, the golden national monument known as Pha That Luang, and the charming French colonial buildings that line the streets. It is a city that rewards those who slow down and take it all in, which is exactly what we plan to do over the next 3 nights.
Well, good morning everybody. Today is our first full day here in Vientiane, and Chris and I are just walking down through this park, and we're going to head down to the Mekong River and do some riverside walking. Took a little time for us to get out of the hotel today. Why is that, Chris?
Well, about 4:30 this morning, the entire hotel was exited from the hotel due to a fire alarm. So woke us up, put us in the streets, and started to realize maybe we should think about things we should grab in a quick hurry to get out of a building. But luckily it was a false alarm. They think that maybe someone was smoking in a room.
We've never really been a part of a fire alarm before, so that was
not
really,
in a hotel anyway.
Yeah, not in a hotel. So it made us really think, like, should we have like a go bag prepped in case we hear a fire alarm in our hotel? Like, what do? We grabbed our laptops, we grabbed our passports
And our
wallets and our phones, and
I think I threw on a house coat with some slippers. In hindsight, I'd probably throw on like a full set of clothing just in case we were stuck out for some period of time. I wouldn't be walking around in a house coat with some slippers on. But anyway, let's go check out this beautiful town. I think there's some night markets where we can go see. There's some temples, a museum, and we'll see what else there is to find here.
on a side note, we felt absolutely safe everywhere we've walked in Laos. Like, there's been no issues whatsoever. We've not felt unsafe at all. The people are so beautiful and soft and kind and smiles, and they're just gentle, friendly people.
I think everybody's just been so gracious and welcoming. It's really nice.
Just walking along this promenade here, looking over at the Mekong, and the sun's coming down. Everyone's setting up for the night. They got the night market across the street, plus all the kid playland thing that they're setting up for. We saw that last night. It was pretty cool. It was like a bigger market than we thought.
I'm finding it strange though. It's like 4:30, almost 5 in the afternoon, and pretty quiet. Like, everybody just, I think, kind of waits till that sun goes down and then the city comes alive, but pretty peaceful during the day.
There are so many bars along this river walk. It's so cool. Everyone just is coming to sit on the stairs or coming to sit at the restaurants and watching the sunset.
I think where we're staying, which is closer to the night market, it's a little bit more high-end hotels and restaurants and stuff, but coming down a little further down the Mekong here, it's looking a lot more like a, well, there's lots of hotels but backpackers, but lots of little funky restaurants and bars. This must be the bar area, but last night we were clearly in the wrong area.
It's got a good vibe, like just a real chill vibe. I like it. Got a pool table on the river walk. How cool is that? Look at the fresh fish and shrimp. Oh wow, look at this prawns. Grilled squid. Okay, so the ignorance of us not looking at a map, someone just told us that right across the Mekong there is Thailand. Because
We're here.
yeah.
This is Laos, and here's the edges, the border is right there. So that's Thailand.
We're asking, like, where does the seafood come from? And they said it comes from Thailand, and Thailand's just over there. We're like, oh, didn't know that. Our fault for not knowing that, but now we all know that. Chris and I just stopped for a wine, and we're just marveling at this sunset here. You just gotta see the sky is just absolutely the two sunsets we've seen so far were just spectacular. Beautiful sunset, beautiful lady. Life is good right now.
We're sitting here in Vientiane and listening to country music.
There's country music behind us, so just a perfect moment. So Chris and I love to visit the local markets, and that's kind of one of the first things we do when we come to a new city, is just see what the market's like, because we kind of get a vibe of all of the, you know, the local
Energy, the food,
Yeah.
what they have to offer. So tonight we are going to go check out the night market in Vientiane, and so far we walked just outside of our hotel and it's happening. So we're going to show it to you tonight.
Let's go check out the night market here in Vientiane.
Okay, so first impressions are, this place is huge. So we just walked in and there's like 3 or 4 different directions to go. We were expecting just, I don't know, some little market like we've seen in some of the places we've been in Laos, but this looks pretty big, so we'll take you along.
This is a massive, massive night market. Seeing any kind of thing that you want for coffee stuff, clothing, all the things.
We went through the other market and it was strictly clothing and like coffee goods and amazing. That was an amazing market. But we walked a little further, a few extra blocks here, and we found another night market. But this looks to be like all like hawker food stands and
It's a massive food stand, hawker.
We just ate dinner somewhere else. We probably should have waited till we found this one because it looks huge and amazing. So we're gonna walk through it and we'll show you guys what there is to offer here, but I think we might have to come back here for dinner tomorrow night for sure.
There's a whole food night market. It's crazy.
I wasn't expecting this. I thought we'd kind of seen the night market and kind of experienced that, but there was really no food there. So this one, holy smokes. So we'll let you know how it goes.
Let's go check it out.
So we're gonna try these pancakes that we've never seen before. You get a choice of bobbin coconut, bobbin corn, or bobbin purple sweet potato. I have never had a purple sweet potato, let alone in a pancake for that matter, but it seems to be a pretty popular place. They're making them here right in front of us in these little, they kind of look like muffin pans, but only bigger, but we're gonna give it a try and see what we think. It's about 15,000 kip, which is about $1. So see how it goes. Have a try. Thank you. Yeah. So yeah, we'll give this a try when it cools off a little bit.
It tastes sweet. I don't ever remember trying a purple sweet potato before. So it's kind of like candy, to be honest. It's like really like chewy and with a candy center. That's what I take out of it.
With the market, they have so many different choices, lots of foods that we have not seen. Some of them I might try, some of them I might not, but it was a fun place. I think we'll come back tomorrow night and see how it goes.
It's all cheap eats.
Really cheap eats, actually, like good choices, lots of options. Nobody's pushy. It seems like a fun place to be, and there's actually another market out the side here and another one out the back where you can come sit down and have a cocktail, a beer, or wine, or whatever you want, and sit down and have something to eat if you don't want to stand around the market. So far, Vientiane, this is a great place to come. Come check it out.
Are you gonna eat the grubs?
No.
No grubs for Chris?
No intestines.
No chicken intestine. What about the chicken feet?
No chicken feet. No, I don't. There were blood cubes. I don't think I want that either.
However, there is stuff that you can eat.
Lots of other foods, yeah, I would say.
The sweet potato cake was amazing. I actually like that.
I actually really enjoyed that. And I'm not a sweet tooth, so that was a nice change because it's kind of sweet but not too sweet, and I'd probably order that again.
The guy over there with the skewers, that looked good, like the beef skewers and the whole shish kebab thing. Whether you want chicken feet or you want beef satay, you can get anything you want here.
I don't want chicken. I don't want grubs or worms.
No grubs.
That looks fantastic. So $3. Cup chai. Cup chai live. So cute. So while we're here in Vientiane, we're trying to figure out how to get around and what we can use for transportation. The monuments are quite a ways out from some of the historic districts, but there's quite a few different options actually. There was an app that we just used right now, and it was called Loca Minis. They're like little electric cars that take you, so you can program it on your phone. They'll give you a price, they pick you up, and it's kind of like Uber or Grab. Another company that we just saw, that they're little orange tuk-tuks and little orange little shorty cars or electric cars. They're Coke Move is another app that you can use, similar to the Grab and the Uber style. There's also some green buses that we see that look like local buses. There's the tuk-tuks that are the fancy ones with the rainbow stripes and the pimped out tires. There's some trucks that you can get in the back, it looks like, and there's also taxis or private drivers. So lots of options for transportation.
We did visit Pha That Luang during our time in Vientiane. Unfortunately, we ran into some camera issues that day and lost most of our footage. This golden stupa has stood as the national symbol of Laos for centuries, originally built to house a sacred relic of the Buddha and rebuilt by the Lao people every time it was damaged or destroyed. Today, its image appears on the national currency and the country's emblem. It is not just a temple, it is the soul of Laos, and absolutely worth a visit when you are in Vientiane. Standing right in the heart of Vientiane is Patuxai, which means Victory Gate. Built between 1957 and 1968, it was dedicated to the Laos soldiers who gave their lives fighting for independence from France. At first glance, it looks very similar to the Arc de Triomphe in Paris, and that was very much intentional. But look closer and you will see it is entirely Lao in its design, covered in Buddhist symbols, mythical creatures, and traditional carvings. Now here is the part of the story that most people don't know. The cement used to build this monument was actually donated by the United States, but it was meant for something completely different. The Americans provided it to build a new airport runway that US military planes could use during the Vietnam War era, but the funds and materials arrived before any agreement was signed, so the Lao government made their own decision and built this monument instead. It has been nicknamed the vertical runway ever since.
This is probably the most important stop we're making in Vientiane. Between 1964 and 1973, over 2 billion kilos of bombs ended up in Laos during the Vietnam War. During the Vietnam War, the US was trying to cut off the Ho Chi Minh Trail supply route. The trail ran through eastern Laos. Laos was officially neutral, so this bombing campaign was kept secret from the American public and Congress. More bombs were dropped on Laos than were dropped on Germany and Japan combined in all of World War II. For 9 years, a plane load of bombs was dropped on Laos every 8 minutes, 24 hours a day. A third of those bombs are still scattered across the country, causing daily accidents. It became the most intensive aerial bombardment campaign in history. But the tragedy didn't end in 1973. 30% of these bombs failed to explode on impact. They're now buried in rice fields, forests, playgrounds, and backyards. They look like toys to children. They still explode when disturbed 50 plus years later. COPE provides rehabilitation services for victims of unexploded ordnance accidents that continue to happen daily. The current reality is that farmers hit them while they're plowing their fields, children find them and think they're toys or balls, and families collect scrap metal to sell accidentally trigger explosions. Only about 1% of contaminated land has been cleared so far. At the current clearing rates, it will take hundreds of years to clear all the unexploded ordnance. The center is free because this is all about education and awareness. They want everyone to understand what's going on, this ongoing humanitarian crisis.
So if you come to this city, make sure you come and visit this historical center and the rehabilitation that they're doing here. Super educational, goes to a good cause. It's by donation only, but it just shows you some of the efforts that they're making here to try and remove all the bombs in this country.
Yeah, it's one of those humbling, but positive experiences. They're doing so good for the rehabilitation of the unexploded ordnance victims.
It shows how they're giving them new hope for some of the victims that have been impacted by these bombs. But I think it's sad because I feel like more could be done. But again, there's so many bombs in this country that are undiscovered, but they're making definite positive efforts. So come see it.
As always, we're going to show you our accommodations that we stayed. We stayed at the Mintra Hotel, and it's fairly central, close to the river, close to the night market, all the things. But this one cost us $65 Canadian, a little higher. We splurged a little bit on this one. There's a pool on the rooftop, and Chris is going to show us the room that we have for $65.
Hi everybody. So this one is the room that we decided to change from the $20 a night hotels and decided to go a little level up, but this is $65 Canadian. So nice big bathroom over here, a nice big walk-in shower. It has all the amenities, which is really nice.
Toilet. Nice shower so we can wave at each other. There's the window. Oh, there is a shade up there.
Don't drop the soap, Jim. Some nice robes and slippers. And a flashlight if the power goes out. It's pretty handy actually. And as you walk in, we have a fabulous room. There's a desk, a TV, snacks, beautiful big TV, and nice big bed with clean linens. And it looks like there's a rooftop pool, there's a gym, there's a bar upstairs, and well, we have a nice little view.
of a little temple there and some other neat little things down there. So honestly, the extra few dollars, I mean, it's costing us an extra $40 a night, but the last few places we stayed in, there were some little critters that decided to stay with us, maybe some spiders up in the ceilings, but this one is nice and clean and fresh. I think when you travel for this long and go to this many places, we budget for so long, and then every so many stays, we do treat ourselves a little bit to sort of get back into a little bit of the luxury, and I can't wait for that rooftop pool as well.
Okay.
So hey everybody, we just finished our 3 nights here in Vientiane, and we're just going to tell you a little bit about our thoughts about staying in this city. And what did you think, Chris?
I think we are glad that we came. We were curious about the city, being the capital of Laos. It was a good place to come. However, I think that in the future, if we'd known, we may not have made it a destination to come to, per se. We're using it as a way to leave the country, to fly out of Vientiane. So for us, that's kind of a transit kind of place. But if I had to choose, I'd probably choose to spend more time up near Luang Prabang. We enjoyed that a lot. And then I know there's an area that we didn't make it to, down to the 4,000 Islands, which we've heard good things about. But I think as a destination, 2 nights was probably plenty.
Like, there's a lot to offer in the city. You do see some sightseeing stuff. You see some temples that are pretty good. The Cope Center, which I think was a must-see for us. So there's some restaurants, a night market, but we kind of felt like 3 days was maybe a day too long.
Yeah.
It was nice just to sit by the pool in our hotel. That was kind of, we needed some R&R.
We upgraded our accommodations in this city, so we were glad that we did, because the whole time was kind of a refresher before we leave Laos.
The people are still beautiful, kind, soft. Overall, it was a good stopping point and transitioning point for us. And we hope you guys enjoyed this video.
Yeah, thanks so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed Vientiane in Laos, and we will see you in the next destination.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Hello from Laos. Hello from Laos.
These are my kind of vending machines. We're here in Laos and Vientiane, and they have beer Lao, regular, IPA, green, white, some other name I can't pronounce, Carlsberg Pilsner. Here, but excellent vending machines here in Laos.
Eggplant emoji. Somebody pronounce that.
We sit somewhere completely private, and then it's just like...
So we finished up our...
Can't get a break around here.
We were all alone, but now we're not.
The thing about this area seems to be lack of space, personal space. None of that.